Think about your own life right now. Like, do you have an enemy? Or do you have a person you dislike and find a nuisance? You don't have an enemy. Hi guys, today I have an enemies to lovers book rec video. Just because I've read like a ridiculous number of these books and I've ranked them. I've ranked them from least to most deadly because some of these books are contemporary, and I've always said this, you can't really have enemies to lovers in a contemporary book. The stakes are just not that high. You don't have enemies in real life. Starting on the lower end of my scale to rank enemies to lovers, The Inheritance Games by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This book follows our main girl, Avery, as she inherits a crazy amount of money from this guy that she had no idea even existed. And she has to go live with the family of this like filthy rich billionaire, specifically the 4 grandsons. Now, one of those grandsons really hates her because he believes that she like conned their family out of that money. But the reason why this is at the bottom of the scale is because the enemies part ends like fairly quickly before he realizes that she literally has no idea how she fell into this situation. She's not your enemy, you just dislike her and then you get over it. The next book on the scale is Kiss the Sky by Kristen Becker-Ritchie. This is from the Addicted Calloway Sister series. We follow 3 couples, but this book specifically follows Rose and Connor, who are the more enemies to lovers. They're more academic rivals to lovers, but they do bicker so much. Like, see, this is why this is ranked higher than The Inheritance Games, because in The Inheritance Games, it stopped after a while, you know? After a while, Grayson just like stopped thinking of her as her enemy, and she never really thought of him as an enemy, I don't think. But in Kiss the Sky, they're bickering all the time, okay? They get married and they still don't stop bickering. They've like literally known each other since they were 14 years old or something, and they met at this competition, like this academic competition. And since then, they've literally been rivals, and their little back and forths are so entertaining. Oh, I love them so much. The next book is The Night Circus, which I actually have. The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern. We're now stepping into the more fantasy elements, okay? This is like about a circus that just like pops up. Like it pops up overnight, but the circus is just like a stage for these 2 magicians to kind of fight against each other. And these 2 magicians, Celia and Marco, they've been trained by even bigger magicians to like hate each other, despise each other. Like they really like set it up as like a duel that only one of them can win and one of them can die. So you can see where the deadly aspect comes in. The next book is Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I literally read this book like 2 days ago. These 2 characters, Kai and Payton, they're definitely like, it's really, really, really marketed heavily as an enemies to lovers. Like there are multiple knife to the throat scenes, and they're so heavy on that. The reason why it's so low on the list is because they're literally bluffing the whole time. Like, you're reading this and you know that they're not gonna do it, you know? It's not like The Cruel Prince when they're like literally drowning each other, which is why I ranked it so low on the list. Like, yes, they bicker a lot. Yes, they hate each other, but they don't really. The next book is Defy the Night by Bridget Kemmerer. This is again secret identities to lovers. We follow our main characters, it's dual POV, I'm pretty sure, Tessa and Prince Coric. Tessa has like been living in like the poor part of the country her entire life. There's this like disease that's been wiping out all these people, and the antidote to this disease is obviously hoarded by the royals. And Tessa's been distributing this antidote in secret. So it's very much like a Robin Hood type situation. And then we have Prince Coric, who she obviously hates because, you know, hoarding antidotes and stuff. She actually doesn't know that Prince Coric has literally been like handing out the antidote alongside her this whole time. On my scale, the next book is Legend by Marie Lu. This is a dystopia, which is why the stakes are so high. Again, another secret identities to enemies to lovers. Again, dual POV, Day and June. Day is like the most wanted criminal, and June is like the government's greatest prodigy. And the book kicks off because June's brother is murdered and the greatest suspect is Day. But when she like goes out to actually investigate this, she finds Day, but she doesn't realize that it is Day, you know? That is where the secret identity comes in, because neither of them knows who the other is until they do. And that's where the enemies to lovers kicks in. No, but this book is actually crazy. I love it so much. The enemies to lovers, yes, it like faded out eventually and they did become like not friendly but like understanding of each other, and they weren't bickering at the end, but the way it does it, it's so perfect. Like Six of Crows by Lee Bardugo. This book is about a heist that is led by criminal prodigy Kaz Brecker. And in that little heist, we've got this found family of 6 people and 3 couples, obviously. The enemies to lovers couple in this is Nina and Matthias. The stakes are again so high in this because Nina and Matthias, they're both from like rival countries in a way. Like they hate each other's kind. Like they've been raised to hate each other. Literally, I love this enemies to lovers so much. You need to read it. Nina and Matthias are actually perfect. They're so perfect. I love them so much. Like, obviously there's like other couples in this book as well. Like Kaz and Inej, they're what I like to call investments to lovers. Wylan and Jesper, they're like more of the fluffy love. But Nina and Matthias are full on enemies to lovers, and it's done so well. Honestly, Lee Bardugo is just a genius. Like, it's been proven that she's a genius. Next, Shatter Me. Do I really need to describe this? Like, I feel like everyone knows. This is about a girl called Juliet whose touch is lethal. She touched someone, they die. And the enemies to lovers bit comes from the fact that she's been imprisoned for a really long time, like thousands of days, by one of the leaders of like this sector, I don't know, Aaron Warner. And she obviously hates him for doing this until they don't. This book is like addicting. Like, do you know what I mean? This book is literally like addicting. You can't put it down. Like once you start reading it, you can't stop reading it. You really need to trust the process though, because I know I hated Aaron Warner at the beginning so much. I don't know what Tahira Murphy did. I don't know what she did, but she altered some part of my brain chemistry. And now I love Aaron Warner so much. Like, everyone read Shatter Me, please. It's a roller coaster. The next book is To Kill a Kingdom by To Kill a Kingdom by Alexandra Christo. This is again very fantasy, like high fantasy, but it's also a standalone. I'm pretty sure it's a dual perspective. Wait, what are their names? Oh my god, I don't even know her name. Lyra and Elian. Yeah, this book is like a retelling of The Little Mermaid. Lyra is like the daughter of like the sea queen. Wait, is she a mermaid or is she a siren? Oh, she's a siren. She's siren royalty. And every single birthday, she's been like carving out the hearts of princes. Except for Prince Elian, who's known as the killer of sirens. And her task this year by her mother, the Sea Queen, is to carve out Elian's heart. So again, there's a secret identities bit because she transforms into a human and she has to carve out his heart. Yeah, the stakes are really high in this one. I actually love this book. I don't remember anything that happened in it, but it was really good. Like, this is one of those books that you read for the vibes, but end up falling in love with the story as well. Like, the vibes of this book was so perfect. Like, it was very much like giving The Little Mermaid, but also like Pirates of the Caribbean. I don't know. I love Pirates of the Caribbean. Like, do you know how much I love Keira Knightley and Johnny Depp? Like, the next book is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. This is a Romeo and Juliet retelling. And when I tell you it does it so well, like, you think Romeo and Juliet, insta-love. No. This is an enemies to lovers slow burn. So obviously we know like about Romeo and Juliet, like they're from opposite families. Well, these two, they're from opposite gangs in 1920s Shanghai. So Juliet is from the Scarlet Gang, and the Romeo, I don't like saying his name because it's my name, but I'm gonna say Romeo anyway, just because it feels so weird to say my name. And Romeo is from the White Flowers Gang, the Montagues, and they hate each other. alright? They hate each other because of betrayal. They form an alliance in this book because this monster that has like come to town pretty much, and this monster has been like killing people, and they call it the madness. And these two, Romeo and Juliet, they're working together to find out who this monster is and to kill it. And they still hate each other. Okay, the last one that I have on this book, surprise, surprise, it's The Cruel Prince. Did anyone expect me to not talk about this? The Cruel Prince. It's like the best enemies to lovers in the world. I put this, okay, maybe it wasn't the most deadly, but I wanted to put it here anyway, and I did. Jude and Cotton, they've literally been terrorizing each other ever since Jude's immortal, by the way, she's human, and Cotton is the Prince of Fairy. And they've literally been terrorizing, well, Cotton's been terrorizing Jude ever since she, like, came to Fairy, pretty much. Like, he tries drowning her. He tries, like, a lot of things to get her killed. Jude is so freaking, like, badass, I want to say. Like, this girl is just amazing. She really, like, found a way to turn it all around. But anyways, there's like so much betrayal in this book, which is crazy considering only 2 people can lie. I love the Cruel Prince fairies because they're not like Tinkerbell fairies, and they're not like Sarah J Maas fairies where it's just like superhumans. The Cruel Prince fairies, they're like the inhumane, the kind of like nasty side of like nature, and I really love that vibe so much. Anyways, I love them so much. There is so much betrayal that goes on. The stakes are so high because there's a country to rule, and they never like give up that little bickering. Like, I read The Prisoner's Throne just recently, and they still like have their whole like banter, the enemies to lovers banter and bickering. Oh my god, I love them so much. Please read The Cruel Prince.